we have a series of videos about the NDIS. This one explains what an improved plan looks like and how to best implement it. Here is what an improved NDIS plan actually looks like. It will be 6 to 8 typed pages, sent to your home address. Part 1 is a story about who you are and what your life looks like now. Part 2 contains details of your goals and what you are working towards. You will have given the NDIS these details in your planning meeting. Part 3 explains more about your supports. This could be informal, such as your family or neighbour, or services and community groups that you may already access. In this case, it's a GP and diabetes educator. This is often referred to as your circle of support. Part 3 also contains the reasonable and necessary supports. We will have a look at this part in detail, as this is where many people get stuck. This is an important area, as the NDIS makes decisions about your funding based on what they see as reasonable and necessary. So what are reasonable and necessary supports? These must be related to the participant's disability. They do need to represent value for money, be likely to be effective and beneficial to the participant, and take into account informal supports given to participants by families, carers, networks, and the community. Expenses that are covered by other government departments will not be covered by your NDIS plan, for example, health or education. There are more than 10 potential support areas that fall under reasonable and necessary supports. In this video, we are only going to use core supports in order to explain how it all works. On your approved plan, it will look like this. In this example, the $31,214 is allocated to access social, community, and recreational activities. Please be aware, you might get more money or less in your plan. You now have some funding in some direction, but that is all. To get supports happening, you have to engage providers, and you can do this immediately. But given the importance of this funding to your life, we suggest you take some time to put together a detailed plan and budget. Most people find this overwhelming and stressful. You could try and do this by yourself, and some people do. Many, however, choose to get some help from a knowledgeable local organization to help develop a detailed plan with actual providers and a budget. Okay, let's start our example of turning core supports into action. Don't forget, you will probably have several support areas like this to work through. In researching activities and services, you should consider who will provide these services and how will you coordinate them. What services are available in my local area? How will you know you are getting value for money? Will this fit within the price guide? How do you plan the full 12 months? Can you move these funds around? Having considered all that, let's assume this participant has done some research and met with providers to see what's available. They then choose these 5 activities to meet their goals. For example, yoga improves their health and well-being. They need some one-to-one support to go shopping. They enjoy going to the movies with friends. They love supporting the Central Coast Mariners football team. And finally, they wanted to have a centre-based program to utilize their arts and craft skills. Together, these 5 activities and services will support their access to social, community, and recreational activities. The good news is, you can now start to see your detailed NDIS plan coming together. The bad news is, you still need to do more work before it's ready. To help this make sense to you, we are going to do a worked example of what Central Coast Primary Care does to produce a detailed plan and budget. In our worked example, we will take the 5 activities or services you have chosen and add them to a spreadsheet. We then add the providers and their contact details. As you can see from the planned service delivery column, 3 out of the 5 activities are delivered by Central Coast Primary Care, and 2 are delivered by other suppliers. This is often the case with our organisation, but may not always be true of others. We also have added contact names and phone numbers in case anything changes. We also include the line item from the NDIS Price Guide in the hourly rate. This is important for setting up the portal correctly. Then, we work out how many hours it would take each year to deliver those services. For example, the yoga session, including transport, takes 3 hours per week. Multiply that by 52 weeks per year, and you get 156 hours. You can get the hourly rate from the NDIS Price Guide for group activities like yoga. It's $14.27 at the time we made this video. Once the spreadsheet totals all activities and hours up, we can actually see where we stand financially. In this case, the total comes to $35,352, so we are overspent to our budget, which is only $31,214. Here is the completed spreadsheet with all the details, but we still need to balance the budget. In other words, we need to save about $4,000 out of the detailed plan as it currently stands. To save this money, our participant decides they are spending too much money on the center-based program for arts and crafts, so they cut that back from 3 days per week to 2 days per week, which significantly reduces the spending in this area. That leaves them with some spare funds, so they work out that they can afford to go to the movies every week instead of every month, which actually increases their hours. These actions bring the total spend back to $30,148, which is under the budget. It leaves $1,000 unallocated, but this can be spent during the year on another service. Congratulations! You have now completed a significant support area with a detailed plan and budget. Now let's wrap things up. You started with a document that just defines spending areas and dollar amounts. Whilst it's called an NDIS approved plan, you've probably realized that this is just the start of your planning. You now have a detailed plan in place to deliver activities and services that are reasonable and necessary supports. You know exactly what the support is, who is delivering it, at what time, and how much it will cost. You also know the item numbers to claim, and you have a tool for managing your spend throughout the year. This puts you in control of your plan. For this example, we have simplified the process and only covered one area in core supports. In reality, you are likely to have other support areas you need to work through like this. The NDIS is designed to empower people, but this means there is a huge amount of choice and complexity involved in delivering your plan. Some people choose to manage everything themselves. Other people choose to work with a trustworthy organization that knows the NDIS well and can deliver professional services. Central Coast Primary Care is one such organization. We offer complete transparency to our clients, and our participant guarantee shows out exactly how we do our business. We provide an explanation of our participant guarantee on our website or search it up on YouTube. If you live on the Central Coast and would just like an obligation-free chat on the NDIS, then give us a call. If you don't live on the Central Coast, then do some research and check suppliers' credentials before moving forward.